I'll call the meeting to order at 7:30, March 1st, 2021. Roll call, please.
Treasurer Hart,
Here.
Trustee Ritchley,
Here.
Trustee Babel,
Here.
Trustee Knotts,
Here.
Trustee Blackstock,
Here.
Clerk Good is here, Supervisor Roush.
Here. All right, we'll skip through the Pledge of Allegiance. One of these days we'll have a flag to look at. Moving into the approval of the agenda. Is there any additions or deletions to the agenda as presented?
This is Babel. I would like to make an addition to the new business. I was concerned about maybe opening up the township offices by next meeting or by next Monday, the 8th of March, and I was wondering if anybody else was concerned with that too.
Okay. We'll note that. Is there any other additions or deletions? There's really no deletions, I guess. Hearing none, all in favor of approving the agenda with the addition of the conversation of the office opening, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, the agenda carries. Moving into the approval of the minutes. They're in your packets. If there's no questions about the minutes, a motion to accept the minutes will be in order.
I make the motion, we accept the minutes as read or whatever, and for the oh my God, the February meeting.
Treasurer Hart, seconds.
All right, we have a motion, we have a support to accept the minutes from February 15th, 2021. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed? All right, approval of the minutes carries. Public comment section. We do have a resident, so it looks like on the call here. Brian, is there anything you want to bring up? All right. Give him a minute here. All right, if not, I guess we'll move into the approval of the consent agenda. Packets as well. If there's no questions and approval, a motion consent agenda would be in order.
I got a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Just clarification. We get financial reports on the second meeting each month, the revenue and expenditure, because we didn't get it this time, and I'm new at this game.
Yep, I can answer that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is correct. The second meeting, you will receive the financials.
Thank you, Cindy. And I don't know who's on the fire authority these days, but I noticed on the list of all the runs, there is a list for St. Clair Municipality, and then there's a separate list for Station 1. And I thought Station 1 was part of St. Clair, and I was just wondering why it's separated out. But maybe something that can be handled next meeting. It's really just a question. Didn't make sense when I read it. As somebody knows right off the top of the head.
That's just the total, Ralph, on the backside. So they show China, and on the backside it's East China, St. Clair. So that's a breakdown of the runs. For the first incident type is just a generalized list for the month.
The numbers don't add up though, Brian. There's 58 runs for Station 1, and St. Clair's only got 21. I don't understand. Anyway, I won't take our time up with it. It just, the numbers just didn't add up. I'll make a
Yeah, we don't
motion,
have
I'll
a-
read the consent agenda as presented. Nothing nonsense.
We have a motion, we have support. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries to accept the consent agenda. All right, we have disbursements. We have bills in the amount of $34,182.85. We have accounts $217,308.20. We have payroll, $29,602.95. Payroll funds, $22,402.69. Each amount of $302.30. Tax account of $234,651.69. For a total of $538,450.68.
Somebody else's turn.
I'll make the motion. We approve the payment of the bills in the amount of $538,450.68.
Table
Treasurer
support.
Hart supports. Or whoever.
We have a motion, we have a support to approve the bills, paying of the bills. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Knotts,
Yes.
Treasurer Hart,
Yes.
trustee Babel,
Yes.
trustee Richley,
Yes.
trustee Blackstock,
Yes.
Good is a yes. Supervisor Roush,
Yes. We pay the bills. Moving into, there's no unfinished old business this meeting. Moving into new business, we have the agenda item brought up by trustee Babel of talking about opening up the building for township there. So this is a topic it's been brought up quite a lot. Residents, I've heard it from quite a few people myself. Conversation that I had with Cindy a little while back about, OSHA ruling from home as much as possible. But it seems like most of the townships now are open or getting to be open. I did talk with Artie Bryson last about, what did they do? When did they decide to reopen? Fear and concern. I guess it's just up for, has anybody else been getting any conversation or any concerns?
Can I have a point of order? Are we talking about opening the township hall up during business hours for residents to conduct business? Or are we talking about having meetings face to face?
No, the meeting's face to face. They can't have.
I'm not sure what trustee Babel was asking for.
Yeah.
I believe that we should have it open to the public and for our meetings.
Those are two separate issues, so you'd have to attack those in two different conversations.
Well, we know that the MTA said you can't have you have to have virtual meetings until March 31st, correct, Cindy?
20,
March
through
29th.
March 29th.
March 29th. So that's really a non-issue. So Debbie, are we just talking about the township hall at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I've had several residents approach me that needed to get into the township hall and do some business. And, it just makes it really difficult for them to get anything done.
So we're always open for appointments. We do ask that people call ahead. Even if they're in the parking lot, we can try and accommodate that. But right now we would have to do appointments because we do have to do the screening for people. Right now, that's just what I have to do as the employer. And I know that you want me to hold everyone to that same standard, that we're protecting the employees by having those screenings in place and making sure that we have appointments for people, and we're completely available for appointments.
Don't you have to scan every visitor and log them in?
Yes, we do.
That's what I thought. That's what makes it kind of difficult, even if you
Right,
block
so-
just the front area.
Right, that's why we would require the pre-appointment. Just call ahead. We do have people in the office every day, different scattered times, and we can always make accommodations if somebody needs to come at a time where we don't already have someone scheduled to be there.
Okay, I have heard that people have called in and nobody has answered the phone or called them back. So
I
I
do
don't
know
know
that.
if that's how.
I do know that has happened to myself. I have called the office and I have had it ring and then no one has answered.
So the thing is, we are working through a few bugs with our phone system. I guarantee if you leave a message on anyone's voicemail, you will get a call back. We've got an issue right now where it goes to night mode at 4:30 and it doesn't go to day mode until we physically go and have to go in and reprogram it. We've been working with our phone people, so it might go into the night mode where it says we're not open. But we are all receiving and retrieving messages remotely as well as when we're in the office. So I would love some specifics of when they called, what days, and when they didn't receive a call back. That would be real helpful.
Okay, I'll get that information to you.
Well, just as a point, I had to call in the other day because of the missing minutes. No one had answered the phone. I left a message. Wendy sent me back a message on the email within an hour. So Wendy got that message and reacted to it.
Yeah, what our intent is if you call within, that business day, reasonably speaking, I mean, if you call at 4:15, I don't know that you're going to get a call back that day, but you would definitely get a call back within the next couple hours, the next business day. So it depends on the timing of the call and what else is going on. But we are all working together to make sure the calls are retrieved and called back. So I would, again, encourage you to give some specifics if we have some problems.
What would we have to establish in order to be able to have people walk in just to the front area?
Well, we would have to have somebody screening them the minute that they walk in. I'm not getting any calls, so I really love you to forward that information that we're not conducting business the way that things are currently. I thought that things were being conducted and we can conduct all the business that we need to. We've got a drop box, we've got mailbox, and we've got appointments available. People can meet you right at the front door if you can't come in. I think we've been pretty accommodating.
I think maybe people are getting confused of what day you're there at a certain time, because some days are, in the morning, some days are in the afternoon, and it's kind of hard to,
Right.
I think, for residents to keep it straight without being like consistent.
Yeah, I encourage them to not concern themselves with what hours we have people staffing the building, because that's based on our need to get things done internally. I encourage them to call ahead to make an appointment, and we will accommodate those appointments anytime between 8 and 4 p.m. Well, I would say 8:30 because 8 is us coming in and getting things set up. But if someone needs to come in at 8 o'clock, we certainly could accommodate that. But it's just that extra 5-minute phone call the day before or a couple hours before, and we are trying to stay really on top of that. But to have residents be concerned with what hours people are in the building or not in the building is not going to be effective.
So that's going back to kind of what Ralph's question is, and this has been my question just as a person, not for the township, but in life. What is the at what point are we gonna reopen? Just back to like normal 100% business as usual?
Well, I can
I guess-
tell you, when I, as your township manager and you as the employer are guaranteed that MIOSHA doesn't stop in and ask why you have 6 people working in a building when they could be working remotely. That's the
Right.
short answer. That
Right.
honestly, people are getting fined. It's unannounced visits. And if we have the capability and there is no excuse, if you don't have the technology, that's not an excuse. If your actual physical presence is needed to do the job 8 hours a day, then you are allowed to be in that building doing that job. And most of our office staff, that just doesn't apply.
All right. Well, I guess let's see what happens with, I guess Debbie, what was the action item here?
I just wanted to have it that the township office was open to the public, that they could get their business done. And, you know, if they can make appointments, that's fine, I guess, at this point. But I would like to see it opened. I think it does the public much more benefit than it does, you know, anything else.
And
I don't know.
agree with you.
It's my thought.
Yeah, it's as your, I am the representative to your employment relations, let's say, and it's my job to ensure the township's best interests. And sometimes that may go in conflict with what the residents want. But right now, as an employer, you as the township need to adhere to the MIOSHA and the Health and Human Services Department directives.
But are
And
there
I-
not like capacity, regulations with all that? And, pretty much everybody that is there working is in their own separate office, more than 6 feet away from each other. So
Again,
know.
if you want to pick through the directives are very clear that you are able to be working in person if there's absolutely no other way to do your job functionally. You can think about retail workers, restaurant workers, factory workers. They're really cracking down on office personnel.
And you know, that really doesn't make sense, because the people that are working from home are still going to all the grocery stores, are still going to everywhere else. And, you know, I don't understand what constitutes this. I really don't.
That would
It
be,
makes no sense to me.
yeah, that's the state order. I can't tell you how to feel about that personally. But as an employer, you are in a different position than a private citizen.
God bless Governor Whitmer.
Yeah.
So Cindy, I guess the question that probably everybody's thinking of themselves is, what happens if MIOSHA comes in there? I mean, is it a fine? Is it a penalty? Or
Yeah, it ranges anywhere from a few hundred to $6,500.
And they just fined McLaren $6,500 for the same thing.
really, McLaren Hospital?
Yeah, it's in the paper this morning.
All right. So maybe it's something that we, just reiterate. Maybe we make it a bold thing on the website so that residents see it, that the, by appointment only, we're willing to work around everybody's schedules during normal business hours to get them in there if needed. Just to reiterate that. But I think it's something we table maybe until the next meeting or the meeting after and see what happens with the governor.
Yeah, what I can tell you is the moment that those restrictions are lifted, I will provide a recommendation to the board, and the board can then decide what they want to do. The decision isn't mine. It's not yours, unfortunately. I would recommend that you wait until the decision is basically handed to you.
All right. Any more discussion on this topic? All right, none. We'll move into announcements. There's FYI in your packet about the St. Clair Endowment Fund. It's something that got mailed to us. Basically read through it. It's small grants that could be used for, capital fund projects. If there's anything that the board or any residents have brought up that might be a good reasoning to apply for this. So maybe it's something that better the community. I don't know if anybody's been approached by residents that something that might fall into this, but it's definitely something we can look into if you have any. Yeah, a thank you letter in here for for Blaine and his staff that clears the snow on the bike path after the snow falls. So that's good to see some positive feedback since we've been littered with so much negative lately. Any other announcements? If not, we'll move into for comments. Starting with Trustee Richley tonight.
I have nothing. Thank you.
Trustee Babel,
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Trustee Knotts,
Nothing further.
Trustee Blackstock,
Nothing, thank you.
Treasurer Hart,
Nothing tonight, thanks.
Clerk Good.
Nothing tonight.
I have nothing either. I'm calling from Dallas, so I'm about to go get some dinner and maybe a cocktail or two. So, all right. That's all. Motion to adjourn the meeting would be in order.
So moved.
Support. We have a motion with support to adjourn the meeting. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed? Meeting adjourned at 7:52 on March 1st. Thank you, everybody.